What up, guys? Dr. Vic here, and I wanted to share with you something that I've seen entrepreneurs make one of the biggest mistakes. This is how I've helped entrepreneurs double their profits, some in 3 months, some in 6 months, easily within a year. And it's one of these things that we always look at. You hear it in chiropractic too. When I've shifted from working with entrepreneurs and started opening up the door to helping chiros, I saw the same thing there. I saw it myself looking at who's the leaders, who's the people that I have to follow. And it was always numbers, 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 leads, 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 new patients, new patients, new patients. But here's the biggest mistake. It happens in entrepreneurial world just as much as it is in the chiropractic world. And that is we focus so much on sales, right? I've doubled my practice. I've done this. I've X'd here, right? And we all look at sales and we don't take a look at profits. It's one of the biggest mistakes. So I'm going to share with you guys some things to start getting real with yourself so you can start to be really brutally honest, because to me, growth is in profits. It's not in my sales. My sales, and I always tell people this straightforward. In 2020, my sales went down actually. First time I've ever seen sales go down. But you heard me say before, if you've been following me for a while, I've said that I've never had a down year. And what I mean by that is in profits. How can I have gone down 5% in sales but went up 15% in profits in a down year from a sale perspective? But from a profit perspective, we grew. And the reason why, one of them obviously is we trimmed some expenses off our books, things that we didn't need, which number one thing to do is trim the fat. Look at your year every year. And I recommend doing this when you're in your low months of the year, wherever you don't see a lot of money coming in. You know, we all have our flows. And it's one of the things where you want to really look at what's really important and what isn't. What's the bare necessity that you need? Not that you can get other things, but what's the necessity you need to run the business to be as smooth as you like it to be? Okay. That's the first thing. Just doing that, when I work with some of my clients, I've taken their expenses from 40, 50%. We dropped it to 30 something percent. I averaged in my career around 28 to 30% expenses. That was where my expense ratio has always been. So when you look at that, how do we shrink that down? Because the less overhead you have, the more money flows into your pockets, which increases your profits, which gives you more financial freedom, and you can choose to live the life. It gives you more purpose. You can do more with your family, and everything just expands from that, right? This is why I say money is life energy. And so that's number one. But number two then is you got to look at things where, we got to trim the fat. Number two is going to be then, what are your biggest money makers? What works for you? Do you have what's the things that really work for you in a business? Now, this is just business mindset. Okay. So this is not getting into philosophical purpose. Just look at what yields you the most money, and then look at where are you spending your energy at, because those are usually going to be sometimes in alignment and sometimes are not. And a lot of times it's amazing when I just have this conversation, we unravel some of these things to see that and go, wow, look at here. There's other factors you can look into. Number three will be, what's your patient max? What is the max that you want to see? A lot of times you have lack of clarity. Chiros just want to see, I want to serve this many people. I want to do this much stuff. What's the number you want? The max number I wanted to serve in my office was 300 to 350 people. That was it. It doesn't mean that I couldn't take on more. It didn't mean that, I'm limiting myself and how much I can gain financially. That's what I wanted. That's what served me, right? Because again, a lot of work I do is vision, focusing on your vision and your clarity in your life, in your business, in your marriage, in your physical health, your mindset, your mission in life. So when I looked at all that, I had to get real and say, what is the number that can serve me at, the number I can serve that also keeps me in balance with my life so I don't get too thrown off, right? Overwhelm is a great thing. It means you have pressure, and pressure means you're growing and expanding and ready to blow up to the next level. So there's nothing wrong with that. But the key factor is you have to realize that what is that number? Because too many times, talking with chiros, I've done this with entrepreneurs, see it in chiro all the time. Well, I want to serve this many people. Well, why? What's the purpose of it? What does that give you? What is it? What's more money? Okay, but what does more money do? Right? So you got to have that clarity in that perspective, and then looking at these kind of things. These are three things I'm going to give you. There's more I can go down a whole entire rabbit hole with on these things, but those are kind of the three things when you're looking at. Stop looking at sales. That's the end of the day. Stop looking at sales. It's not going to be the thing that's going to determine success in your business. To some degree it does, and some degree it doesn't. The other factor is, I'll give you one extra bonus here, is what is the number of days it takes to cover your expenses in a month? What does that look like? Is it 20%? Is it 10%? Is it 50% of the month? How many days? For me, it was about 9.5 to 10 days, give or take, of where just normal operations, doing the work, covered all my expenses. Sometimes it was 7 days in that month, and so forth. But each month obviously is a little different. My leaner months, the expense days went a little longer. My stronger months, it was a lot less. And so, average was about almost, give or take, about anywhere from 8.5 to about 9, 10.5, 11. And the reason why I range that again is it just depends on each year. But those are things you want to know so that you know that after this time frame, boom, everything else is coming into my pocket. This is profit from my business now, and taking it from that perspective. So play around with this. And if you need help with this, if you want to double your profits this year, you want to expand your business, you want to have more freedom, you want to spend more time and have more work less and spend more time with your family, you want to have better health and all these different things that come into balance, to have a perfect balanced life, DM me, balance below. Let's have a conversation. This is something that I'm an expert in. This is something I've done multiple times in my life. And I'm literally looking for specific chiropractors who are committed to growth. You want to double, you want to triple, you want to quadruple your practice. You want to do it in a way that is going to help you with aligned principles, but also not only just coaching the mind, also building habits. We work on the subconscious, and we also work on blocks too that are holding your back. Remove those so you can achieve more that you desire in your life, and so much more. So again, if you're interested in that, type in balance below. Appreciate you guys as always. Make it a great day.